It's time. Arena talk. Craig, kick us off.
What do we have to talk about? There wasn't supposed to be anything to talk about today, was there?
Well, I guess there technically was.
Isn't there something to talk about? Wasn't there a date?
Yeah, there's. We thought the auction might be posted today, but that was okay because we got another surprise this morning. We got renderings. You guys seen the renderings?
The renderings?
The renderings.
The renderings.
I want to talk about these renderings.
Let's
what do we
talk
want to put up first?
Danielle,
Should we put up the aerial shot for us?
Yeah.
People are wondering what the heck this is.
I love the renderings. Oh my God, I love it.
Look at that. Look at
I
that.
love it.
Look at that.
Again, if you're listening on audio, you can go to Craig's Twitter at Craig S. Morgan. He tweeted these earlier today.
That is absolutely phenomenal looking. And that underhang? What is that underhang,
We're
Craig?
still there.
We're still there.
No. I just want to ask, this looks like it's an arena in the middle of nowhere, doesn't it?
It does. There's nothing there.
That's what everyone from out of town is telling me.
Nothing. Where's the flood? If you can't see on this picture, on the far top north of that, there's going to be they're building a dike, and they're going to have. They're not going to allow any water coming down into this area.
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch boy.
Is it a dam? I mean, are they building an entire? I've heard they're going to build a dam and power the entire city.
They're actually
putting floodwaters.
They're actually putting beavers in there.
Do you know how close that is to that big power station? You've been up. You guys don't go up there. Right at the north end of that, there's a huge power station.
Right.
Huge.
For the people watching, they already know there's tons of stuff around this, right?
It's beautiful.
What's on the other side of the freeway from this?
That's
right,
Mayo
the Mayo
Clinic.
Clinic. Yeah,
what's
that's right.
What's to the left of it? Desert Ridge.
Mall.
What's to the right of it? TPC.
TPC. Yeah, there's a few things.
TPC is a driver and a 9-iron from there.
Okay, this next picture I love.
But what's that underhang stuff? There's gonna be look at that mall.
Well, you'll get to it in a second.
Oh,
we're
down low.
I really like the fact that it says Arizona on the side. That's right along the 101. You're driving by it, you know exactly what it is.
The clean low lines. I'm a big architecture guy, and we should probably mention John Glenn at this point, who was tweeting about this, ranking the various renderings. And there have been a lot of renderings. There have been even more sites that there have been renderings.
So many that you can rank the renderings.
These are my favorite renderings.
Yeah. As he asked Craig, where is Scottsdale Road? From that first picture, Scottsdale Road is the road running up and down on the right side of the building. It's the one running up and down.
Northwest corner.
The one at the bottom is the 101. The one on the right going up and down is Scottsdale Road.
Yeah, it's the northwest corner of those two roads.
It's beautiful.
I'm going to read John Glenn's tweet because it's really good, and he's in architecture, and he talks about how it's proportionally very low slung with a long roof line. This responds well to a vast open desert landscape. It also doesn't try to overwhelm the landscape. It nicely nestled in there. The curvaceous roof line also reminds me of a desert. There appears to be a snaking circulation ramp along the exterior, and it's a desert hiking trail turned into architecture.
That's really good.
It's really cool that someone can see that with.
It's beautiful.
Just people have asked me, what's that second smaller circle? I think it's the practice rink.
Yeah, the community rink.
Yeah, the community rink. Yeah,
so. I think it's beautiful. And my couple questions. Somebody asked how close is the closest Circle K? It's 2 blocks north and on the east side of Scottsdale Road, right next to Discount Tire. But I wonder, and not to burst bubbles, but I know you're doing a deep dive into this, Craig. How close do renderings actually become the project? You know what I mean? Like how close do the pictures actually come?
I mean, we saw.
we haven't built one.
Do you remember the first renderings in Tempe? Not the Anthony LeBlanc renderings.
Yeah, they're so different from
completely
each other.
Different. Alex Morel looked at it and said that doesn't say Arizona. So they went back to the drawing board. Now I'm guessing they got a little farther along the path here, and
I love this.
This is a good firm that they hired. I love these. I think these are fantastic. But yeah, we're probably going to see some changes.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going because I think this interior space is so cool.
Ridiculous,
isn't it?
It reminds me the screen on the ceiling reminds me
Vegas.
of Fremont Street, in Vegas.
Yep.
But really cool, especially for Arizona, where sometimes you don't want to be exposed in the sun.
And you're not that's not inside the arena portion.
No.
So here's what my son said to me today when we were talking about this, because he saw the renderings. He lives right by there. Can't wait. Hopes this happens. But he said, can you imagine when this team is good enough to make the playoffs? Can you imagine the watch-alongs out there in the underhang
that's a really
part?
good point.
Wow,
they could show
that's
the
a good
game.
point.
They could show the games on the roof.
You could have massive
He said it'd be
crowds.
unbelievable.
But wait, there aren't enough fans in Arizona.
There's no fans here.
They couldn't fill that.
That's the space I'm excited to see. And I'm hoping, restaurants, some retail space right in that underhang between the two arenas. I think it's brilliant. And even if it's 90 degrees or 120 or 60 and raining, you still want overhang.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
All right, this next picture we're going to look at is a rendering of what a suite would look like.
Not enough people mention this because when I saw the suites, I was blown away by these suites. These are really cool. These are
very luxury,
aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, they're very bright.
Yeah, don't spill red wine on the carpet.
Usually, those suites are very dark, very dark woods.
I do wonder about the carpeting, if they're going to want that color carpeting, because that's going to be really tough to clean.
Empire will
it's going to be tough to clean that. But the sand color, I think, is really cool.
Yeah, it's great.
And again, it says desert to me.
Yep.
It definitely does. It definitely does. They stuck with their theme. Is that all we got? Oh, one more, of course. Of course.
We have the bowl.
The interior. I think this is really cool. I really like the end that you definitely want a little bit of a smaller arena here, like a Winnipeg-esque size. I really like the size of this arena based on this rendering. I think it's really cool. I really like the end, probably the club area on that side. And I just think it's beautiful.
Somebody said online today, well, I think that'll be bad for acoustics because you want people up high in the end. Like, you don't know anything about the acoustics in this arena and what the plan is for them. So don't assume that. They've thought of that. I'm sure they've thought of that. And I really like that look.
I just think honestly, and I know it's an ambitious plan, and I know the surrounding infrastructure to this. It's a beaut. It looks phenomenal, and I know we've seen so many renderings put out by the Coyotes over the last 25 years that if some have been just squares with the word Arizona on them, and you're like, oh man, this one is actually
Did you see the Los Arcos renderings?
I didn't. Okay. I mean, I'm sure I did at the time.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever have. By the way, Mark pointed out in the suite that was tile, not carpet. And now that I'm looking at the photo, it's definitely tile.
Oh, tile. Fine.
It's definitely tile.
That's good. Gonna need tile.
The last thing I want to say, and I know people are like, oh, you guys, the rah-rah team. Well, yeah, rah-rah team. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is, and all I got to say is let's freaking hope so. Yeah. Let's hope this is what happens.
I mean, we're paid chills anyway, Petey, so.
we work for the team, don't we?
Yeah.
No, but let's hope this happens. I'm excited about this project, and I'm as this moves forward. And we get the auction date, which could have been today, but it wasn't. Could be tomorrow, but it might not be. But eventually they'll have an auction. And if Morello wins this land and wins the auction and builds that in northeast Phoenix near the TPC, like it's beautiful. Like I'm excited about it. And I just want the team to stay in Arizona, wherever it is. But that's a very ambitious. I hope this comes to fruition.
I said this today in the Discord. I don't think enough people, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. We know the history, but Major Nelson was responding to me on this. As you get larger and larger in these land bids, you realize how rare the instance is where there are multiple bidders. I don't think people are thinking about that nearly enough. The possibility that there may be one bidder, that Alex Morello shows up and that's it. Unless there's some surprise bidder we don't know about.
Yeah, we'll see.
More on that later.
More to come on that. But you're right. And then all of this talk that we've had about, does he have the money or he doesn't pay his bills or all of these narratives go away. Like all you got to do. It's not done yet. He has to write the check. Once he writes this check and he wins this auction, the ball's in his court.
Yeah, there's a window where he has to close it. Like people,
yes,
yeah, there's that. But
the ball's in his court. And hey, you want this team here? You sure shit want to win? All of these things he has said. Okay, middle of June, you can prove it.
Yep. If he wins the auction, I go back to remember the situation in Tempe. Remember the city of Tempe vetted his finances and looked at it and said, "Yep, he's going to be able to do this." I don't see much different here.
No, I don't either.
If he gets the land, I don't know what obstacles come. There won't be as many obstacles as there were in Tempe because you don't have the damn airport, and you don't have a referendum.
Yeah,
those two pieces are removed. Could there be others? Will there be union opposition? Probably.
Yeah, I think there's going to be obstacles because there always are something.
Like anybody can sue.
NIMBYs
can they block construction?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if there's going to be the major obstacles that we saw here in Tempe. So once June comes along, I'm so excited to see what direction this goes. And everybody's watching this in the world of hockey right now. And it's not just us. It's people north of the border. It's, people all around the hockey world watching to see if this can actually happen. I'm hopeful today, March 20th. I'm hopeful.
Danielle?
So I have a couple things I want to point out about the inside renderings. So my favorite part, one of my favorite parts is the native art behind the logo.
That's a good observation.
Really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. But my favorite part, this is the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup Finals.
I like it.
Wow, I didn't.
Good
I can't
pickup.
see that far.
Good
They're dreaming
pickup,
big, and I
Danielle.
like
Look
it.
at Danielle.
All right. Thank you, Danielle, for pointing that out.